Hey guys, I want to talk about addressing envelopes to send to college admissions offices. You're going to have to send at least one supplemental piece to every school that you apply to. So we're going to have to talk about how to address them. In my experience, a lot of the addresses for these places are kind of weird. So when you look them up, you need to pay really close attention to exactly what it says and try to get the envelope as specifically exactly how they have it listed as you can. Otherwise, it might get sent back to you. Okay, so I'm going to get this big size envelope that's like fully document size so that we could slide in like letters of recommendation or transcripts or other things. We could put other envelopes inside here, or we could put like a full document sheet in here without folding it if we wanted to. Okay. When you're addressing, you want to aim for this middle section to be where you put the address you're sending it to. And this top left corner is where you're going to put your return address. For your return address, I recommend that you use the school's address. That way, if something gets sent back to you, it can end up in my box and I can know that it got sent back and we can fix it. Rather than if you put your home address, there's a chance that like someone else at your house could get it and you might not know for several days. It might take a while. So if you go ahead and put the school's address, it'll come back to me directly. Okay. So let's imagine that I'm applying to UNC. And I need to send a couple letters of recommendation, and I need to send my resume, and I need to send the AVID letter and the letter about the demographics of our school that they didn't have room for on their application. So I looked up their address and I put it here on this envelope. Okay, so this is a pretty good example of how the addresses for these places can be kind of weird. Okay, so first of all, I've got like a bunch of different lines going on here. Office of Undergraduate Admissions, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Jackson Hall, and then it like doesn't even have a street address. It has a campus box and then Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and it's got this like really long zip code. Okay, so I want to do it exactly the way that I found it online with the exact numbers, exact wording, no abbreviations. Everything that was its own line, I found it online. I put it on its own line here on the envelope. Okay, you also want to plan ahead for these things that are like really long lines. If you start too far to the right or you write too big and you get to the end of the line and you're not done with the line, then it's not usable. You can't like text wrap here. You can't make one line fit on two lines. Every line has to be one line. So plan ahead, pay attention. Okay. You want to use a blue or black pen. Don't go using like magenta or purple or green. Blue or black only. Write very clearly. Don't write too small. Don't write too big. Okay. Then for the return address, like I said, I recommend that you use the school address. And I want you to put C/O and then my name as the top line. That means care of Ms. Harris or care of Sarah Harris. That way, if it gets sent back to the school, it's going to come directly to me in my box and I will find it and I will have it like the next day when it gets back and we can fix it to send it back. Okay. Jordan Matthews High School, 910 East Cardinal Street, Siler City, North Carolina, 27344. Okay. It should look exactly like this when you're sending something. Okay. In the middle, room for a stamp, return address. Okay, this is exactly how it looks. Don't address it this way. When we send things in the mail, we send them landscape, not portrait. Okay, if you have any questions, come to me. If you need me to write your addresses because my handwriting is neater than yours, totally fine. Happy to do it. All right, and then when you bring the envelope to me, I will weigh them and I will put the correct stamp for the weight of each one, and I'll send it out for you, and I'll make a note of when I send each one. Make sure that you're putting the dates that you give them to me on your spreadsheet so that you know that they were finished, you gave them to me, and I'll have written down when I mailed them out. Just in case something happens to the stuff on the way, we have documentation. Document, document, document.